So last year I said, look, Cowboys and the Chargers, great talent, maybe the best talent in the league in those two teams. But Wade Phillips and Norv Turner are losers, okay? And they're not going to win. Now, as it turns out, they both went into the playoffs. They had very good records. And so I said at the end of the year, hey, you know what? Look, they didn't win the Super Bowl, and they're never going to.
Cowboys actually did the opposite of what they'd done under Wade Phillips. They played well at the end.
Yes, and they won a game in the playoffs,
yeah,
right?
They beat the Eagles to end the regular season, and then they beat them in the playoffs.
And when they won in the playoffs, they said, look, my bad, Wade Phillips did a lot better than I expected. Norv Turner did pretty well. Again, with that level of talent, they should probably go to the Super Bowl, but that's too high expectations. Plenty good enough, okay? Well, it turns out I wasn't wrong. I was just a little early, okay? Right. And here comes the utter collapse of the Cowboys and the Chargers. And not because they're not talented, as Ben's about to give you the stats on how well they're actually doing, but the reality is they lose games because their coaches are losers, okay? So now the Chargers are 2-4 and the Cowboys are 1-4 with perhaps 2 out of the top 5 most talented teams in the league.
I heard last night during the Colts-Redskin game that the Cowboys statistically are doing, obviously if you just do points for and against, they're not as well because they've lost the games. But, if you look to measure it by yards per game, which is how the NFL ranks the offenses. So I just, you look it up. The Cowboys' defense is 281.4 yards a game. They've only played 5 games, so you have to compare it to, you have to go to yards per game. Better defenses by 2 teams, near as I can tell, in the NFL, making the Cowboys the NFL's 3rd best defense, yards per game.
So, look, they've lost 4 out of their 5 games, so their offense must suck.
Right. So they got a good defense, 3rd most yards. So you go to the offensive statistics and you do the numbers there, and it turns out they're, again, 3rd at 400 yards a game.
Not 3rd from the bottom, 3rd from the top.
400 yards a game of offense, 280 yards of defense, 1-4.
They have the 3rd best offense and the 3rd best defense, and they have the worst coach. So now, how do you lose when you have that good a team? You lose it by running a play at the end of a half that you have no business running and having your 3rd string running back throw the ball up in the air.
Yeah.
And why do you have that? Because you've coached it into him. Hey, Wade Phillips pulls, and by all indications, is a swell guy, okay? But he puts people together, and our job is analysis. I think this is what he does. He goes, all right, I need you to figure out how you're going to clown away games, okay? Tashard, you're going to fumble at the end of a half for no reason and give the other side a victory. All right, great. Well, lineman, what are you going to do? Oh, you're going to hold at the end of a game so that we wipe away a touchdown that would have won the game for us. Fantastic. Okay. Everybody's in. Let's clown it, okay? 1, 2, 3, clown. Okay, and that's what Norv Turner does too, which you're about to get the numbers on that.
Cowboys also the crazy penalties. Last week Jason Witten hands the ball to a lineman. He spikes it, 15-yard penalty after a touchdown, even though it seemed fairly innocent. Then this week Roy Williams scored. Miles Austin propels himself over Roy Williams' shoulders. Again, seemed pretty innocent and celebratory. That's also another penalty. Like after that week, how you do it again, mind-numbing.
Look, and here's, that's how you have a bad coach.
Right.
After, when you get penalized, I don't care how unjust it is. You pull everybody inside and you say, after you score a touchdown, here's what you do. Dick. Nothing, okay? You don't celebrate in any way, shape, or form. You get back and get ready for the kickoff, okay? Because I'm not getting another 15-yard penalty. It makes it far too easy for the other side to win, to score and then to win, and that's why we're 1-4. Or they were 1-3 at the time. Now they're 1-4 because they did it again.
Yeah, they did.
Terrible coaching.
It's remarkable, and I'm not buying you on the loser thing. It's funny. I just want to know, there has to be more than that. I want to know what it is. Cowboys have a massive lack of discipline. The Chargers.
That's it.
So I get that. But what do the Chargers what's wrong with the Chargers? So we did the numbers on the Chargers 2-4. They've just come off inexcusable losses to the Raiders. That was particularly inexcusable. And also the Rams. It turns out Rams are not a horrible football team.
No, I agree.
But the Raiders, the Chargers are 2-4. They should be at a bare minimum 4-2.
All right. So what are their rankings?
So I'm here on offense. So offense, you look down, you find the Chargers. Let's see if I can find the Chargers here. I can't see them. Oh yeah, they're first. 432.7 yards a game.
All right, number 1 in offense in the NFL. They're 2-4. So their defense must be in horrible shape. Let's check out the defensive numbers. Ben, where do they rank on defense?
Well, I see. Again, it's not quite fair to look by yards because some teams have played more games than others. So we'll go to yards per game here. 255.2. 1. They're first in offense, first in defense, last in the AFC West.
Inconceivable. You know what happens? Loser pours out of the pores of these guys, Norv Turner. And so I'm sure Norv Turner probably pats them on the back or shakes their hand or whatever. And that loserdom rubs off on all the players.
It's so weird. I mean, when I watched the Chargers and I watched that Raider game the week before, a game they dominated. And you saw it slipping away, and I'm a Redskin fan, and I thought, I've seen this. I've seen it. I know what happens here. And it's happened. It's happened for the Chargers year after year. I mean, he's had some nice regular seasons now. And look, last year's playoff loss was to the Jets. They've had a couple of crippling playoff losses. Turns out the Jets were a good team. But nonetheless, the Chargers are better. And the Jets were one-dimensional and couldn't throw, and they couldn't figure out a way to stop it. Norv Turner, I assume he's going to go back and spend the next 10 years at some point as a great, great, great offensive coordinator.